You wake up slowly, the way you do these days, like your body is gently reminding you of all it carries. The morning light slips through the blinds, soft and golden, but your joints don't quite agree with the beauty of it. You stretch, carefully, as if not to disturb something fragile inside you. And for a moment, you wonder, where did my strength go? Maybe it was the hike you used to take every Sunday, now replaced by a short walk around the block. Or the grandchildren who used to run circles around you, and now you're the one catching your breath after chasing them for just a few steps. It's not dramatic, it's not sudden, but it's there. A quiet fading, a slow letting go. You've watched friends struggle, some with balance, others with pain, some with fear. You've heard the word frail whispered in doctors' offices, sometimes even about people younger than you. And you ask yourself, is this what getting older has to be? Is this the best we can hope for? But what if it didn't have to be this way? What if instead of dreading the years ahead, you could look forward to them? With strength still in your bones, energy still in your step, and dignity still in your stride. Because here's the truth. Aging doesn't have to mean losing yourself. In fact, it can mean rediscovering parts of you that time tried to hide. And it might start with something as simple and as powerful as what you eat before bed. Let me tell you how. There's a moment many of us reach when we realize our body isn't quite the same as it used to be. Not all at once, but in small, almost imperceptible ways. Maybe you notice it when you rise from your chair and your legs feel uncertain for a heartbeat too long, or when lifting the grocery bags feels heavier than before, or even in the mirror, where your reflection seems softer somehow. Not weaker, never weak, but different. This change has a name, muscle loss, or sarcopenia. And after the age of 60, it can begin to accelerate faster than we expect. It's not just about looking strong or feeling fit. It's about something far more personal, your independence. Because muscle isn't just what moves your body. It's what allows you to carry your grandchild, walk through your garden without fear, or dance at your daughter's wedding. It's what keeps you steady on your feet. What gives you the strength to recover if life throws you a curveball, a fall, an illness, a surgery? Without it, the world begins to shrink. And here's what they don't always tell you. Losing muscle doesn't just affect your body. It affects your confidence, your joy, your sense of self. But this isn't a story about decline. It's a story about choice. About how one simple habit, done quietly, gently, every single night, can help protect what matters most. Not with drastic diets or exhausting routines, but with something deeply human, nourishment. What if I told you that the key to preserving your strength, your balance, your vitality, could start with what you eat just before bed? You've spent a lifetime building your resilience. Now let's make sure you get to keep it. Let me show you how. Let me tell you a story, not about someone famous or extraordinary, but about someone like you. Her name is Eleanor. She's 74. Lived in the same house for over 40 years, raised 2 kids, ran a small business, danced at every family wedding. But lately, she noticed something. Her arms didn't feel as strong when she reached for the top shelf. Her legs sometimes gave out on the stairs. She told herself it was just age, that everyone goes through this. Until one day she stumbled, just slightly, but enough to scare her. Enough to make her wonder, is this who I am now? Is this who I'll become? So she started asking questions, not about pills or quick fixes, but about what her body might be missing. What if her fatigue wasn't just time passing, but something else? What if her muscles weren't just giving up? They were quietly crying out for support. What if instead of accepting weakness, she could give her body exactly what it needed to stay strong? You see, so much of what we call aging isn't inevitable. It's simply misunderstood. Your body doesn't stop working because you got older. It changes, yes, but it still listens. It still responds. It still wants to move, to heal, to thrive. And sometimes all it needs is the right fuel at the right time. Because here's something most people don't realize. What you eat before bed doesn't just affect your sleep. It affects your muscles, your recovery, your strength tomorrow, and 10 years from now. So let's talk about what that fuel is and how one small change at night can help you wake up more like the person you've always been. Ready? Let's begin. Your body is like a house. It's stood strong for decades, weathered storms, seen seasons come and go, held memories in every wall. And just like a house, it needs care. Not fancy upgrades or dramatic overhauls, but steady, thoughtful attention. Especially now. You may have heard that as we age, our bodies change. But what they don't always tell you is how or why it matters. One of the most powerful tools we have to keep that house standing strong isn't in a pill or a gym. It's on your plate. Nutrition after 70 isn't about counting calories or chasing trends. It's about giving your body what it truly needs to stay resilient, to heal, to hold its ground when life gets a little rougher. Let me tell you about Margaret. She's 72, lives in a quiet town by the coast, and has always loved baking pies. But a few years ago, she started noticing something. Her energy would dip by midday. Her hands felt stiff in the morning. She wasn't sick, just tired. And she didn't want to slow down. One day, her granddaughter asked a simple question. "Nana, are you eating enough protein?" It was such a small thing, but it made Margaret pause. She realized she hadn't been. Not really. Eggs had gotten harder to cook, meat felt heavy, and she often skipped dinner if she was alone. That one missing piece might have been quietly affecting everything else. So she started making changes. A bit more cheese with her toast, a handful of nuts in her tea time, a warm glass of milk before bed. Nothing drastic, just gentle, consistent nourishment. And slowly, so slowly she almost missed it, her strength began to return. Have you ever felt like Margaret? Like your body is asking for something, but you're not quite sure what? Because here's the truth. Food is more than fuel. For people like us, it's armor. It's medicine. It's the difference between waking up tired and waking up ready. And when it comes to muscle loss, nutrition is one of your strongest allies. Let's talk more about how and why what you eat at night can make all the difference. There's something most people don't talk about when it comes to aging, how deeply your heart feels everything. Not just in the physical sense, though that matters too, but in the quiet, unseen ways. How loneliness can settle into your chest like a weight. How grief doesn't fade so much as change shape. And how sometimes you carry more than just memories. You carry worry, fatigue, even fear, all wrapped up in what it means to grow older. Let me tell you about James. He's 76, retired teacher, always kept himself active, gardening, walking, reading. But after his wife passed, he found himself moving less, not because his body hurt, but because his spirit did. He didn't realize it at first, but over time, he noticed changes. His appetite dropped. He stopped cooking for himself. Even getting out of bed felt heavier. And then one day, his doctor said something that surprised him. "James, your heart is showing signs of strain. Have you been under a lot of stress?" It wasn't just grief, it was isolation. It was the silence that had grown louder than the world outside, and it was affecting more than his mood. Because here's what they don't always say. Emotional health shapes physical health. When we feel alone, our bodies respond. Stress lingers. Inflammation rises. Our muscles forget how to rebuild as quickly. Even our sleep suffers. It's not just in your head, it's in your bones. But the reverse is also true. When you feel seen, heard, connected, your body listens. You eat better. You move more. You heal differently. Have you noticed how your body responds when you feel truly at peace? When you laugh with a friend, hold your grandchild's hand, or share a meal with someone who knows your stories. That's not just joy, that's medicine. And it's part of the same picture as what you eat before bed, what you do during the day, and how you choose to live this next chapter. Because aging well isn't just about strength, it's about soul. Let's keep going. Let's talk about nighttime, not as a pause in your day, but as a quiet opportunity. For many years, you may have thought of bedtime as simply winding down. But what if it could also be a moment to build up? To give your body something it needs while you rest? To help protect your muscles, support your recovery, and wake up just a little stronger than yesterday? Because here's the truth. What you eat before bed matters more than you think. You don't need to overhaul your whole diet or start drinking protein shakes like a bodybuilder. This isn't about extremes. It's about intention. Let me share what Martha did. She's 71, lives in a small town, and has always loved her evening tea. But after noticing how tired she felt in the mornings, she started adding just a bit more protein to her nighttime routine. A spoonful of Greek yogurt, a few slices of cheese with a piece of fruit, or even a warm glass of milk with a pinch of cinnamon. It was such a small change. No strict rules, no hard work, just a little extra care at the end of the day. And over time, she noticed something. She didn't feel as stiff when she woke up. Her energy lasted longer. And she could keep up with her morning walks again, something she almost gave up on. So what can you do? Start simple. Think about what already feels familiar and comforting to you. Maybe it's a slice of toast with peanut butter, a bowl of cottage cheese with berries, or even a soft-boiled egg with a bit of salt. Ask yourself, what's one small change I could try this week? Because food before bed isn't just about sleep. It's about strength. It's about giving your body the building blocks it needs to repair, rebuild, and rise again tomorrow. Let's explore why this works and how science supports what your body is quietly asking for. There comes a time in life when the question shifts, not just how long you'll live, but how deeply. After 70, many people find themselves asking, what's my place now? What still matters? It's not about being useful in the way the world once defined it. It's about feeling connected, about knowing that your presence still means something, that your wisdom, your kindness, your love still ripple outward. Let me tell you about Henry. He was 78 when he first walked into a small community center near his home. He didn't go looking for purpose. He went because his daughter asked him to try it once, just once. He found himself sitting at a table with kids from the after-school program, helping them read. At first, he felt out of place. But then something happened. A boy named Elijah would come every week, always bringing a drawing for Mr. Henry. And slowly, Henry realized something he hadn't felt in years. Needed. That 1 hour a week didn't change his body overnight, but it changed his heart. And when your heart finds its rhythm again, your whole life seems to follow. Because here's the truth. Purpose isn't loud. It doesn't demand attention. It grows quietly, like a garden tended each day. And it plays a powerful role in how we age, not just emotionally, but physically. When you have something to wake up for, your body listens. When you feel joy, your muscles remember what it's like to move freely. When you give care, you receive strength in return. So I ask you now, what do you want the next chapter of your life to feel like? Because this isn't about slowing down. It's about stepping forward, with grace, with meaning, with strength. And sometimes all it takes is one small shift to begin again. You've made it this far, not because you're looking for a quick fix, but because you still care about your body, your strength, your future. And that matters more than you know. This isn't just about what to eat before bed. It's about remembering that your body still wants to move, to heal, to stand with you as you walk into this next chapter of life. You are not too old. You are not done yet. Your muscles may ache sometimes. Your energy may wane, but your body still listens when you give it what it needs. And your heart still beats with the rhythm of all you've lived and all you have left to live. Because aging isn't about decline, it's about transformation, a quiet kind of growing, even when the world thinks you should be slowing down. Think of the small changes you've already made in your life, the walks you chose over sitting, the extra glass of water, the moments you took to breathe instead of push through. Every one of those choices mattered, and every choice you make from here on will too. Start where you are, even if it's slow, even if it's just a warm glass of milk at night, or a few bites of protein before sleep, or a conversation with someone who sees you, because this is your time, not to fight against age, but to honor it, to nourish it, to live it fully with strength in your bones and peace in your soul. So take that first step tonight. Your body is listening, and it's ready to rise with you. Before you go, I want to ask you something, not just as someone sharing this moment with you, but as a fellow traveler on this winding path of life. What was one thing that made you think differently today? Maybe it was realizing how deeply your body listens when you give it what it needs. Or maybe it was remembering that strength isn't just about muscle. It's about spirit too, about showing up for yourself even in quiet ways. And now I invite you to take one small step forward. What change will you try starting tomorrow morning? Or tonight before bed? A warm glass of milk? A handful of nuts with your tea? A moment of gratitude before you close your eyes? Whatever it is, it matters. And if you're willing to share it, we'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Tell us what you're going to try. Or tag a friend who walks this journey with you, someone who understands what it means to grow older with grace, not fear. Because this isn't just my voice speaking to you, it's all of ours, shared, connected, growing together. If this resonated with you, please consider subscribing. We're building more than a channel. We're building a community, one where wisdom is honored, where questions are welcomed, and where no one has to walk the path of aging alone. You still have so much to offer, so much to learn, so much to live. And every small choice you make, from what you eat at night to how you carry your heart, is part of that beautiful, unfolding story. Thank you for being here. Let's keep walking together